Hello, my lovely FFE ladies. I'm super excited to be here this morning because this morning is Friday. And I love Fridays because Fridays are fat Fridays in our house, which means that calories don't count. It's about the best thing that happens, to be honest, because I spend the rest of the week really enjoying what I do, so it's not like I'm going into corporate anymore and kind of hating my job. But I just wanted to pop in today and talk about why people don't buy, and in line with that, why specifically confused minds don't buy. So you've probably heard this phrase quite a lot come up, especially recently, and I wanted to kind of talk people through it a little bit. So if you're on the line today, on the call, on the live stream, whatever, say hi in the box, and we're going to start talking about why confused buyers do not purchase. So firstly, what do I mean by confused mind? Let's start with that. A confused buyer is somebody who doesn't know necessarily what you're offering, or doesn't think that your offerings are cohesive, and doesn't see how they flow into one another. Now, that can be really, really difficult. My hair's gone a bit crazy today. I've just washed it, so it's all a bit all over the place. But the reason being is that a lot of entrepreneurs, when we start out online, I'm listening but I'm driving. Whoa, scary, scary. Actually, Grim, speaking of you, I have something for you today, and it's called a pitch blueprint. Woohoo! Which will come out into the group in about an hour. I'm just doing the formatting. So, what do confused minds think about your work? Well, the majority of online entrepreneurs go into business, particularly coaches or particularly service-based business owners will go into the online world, and they don't want to reject anybody from their niche or niche, however you say it. And so what that means is that actually people have this huge broad audience and they want to appeal to everybody. And so instead of just being a web designer, for example, who specializes in working on membership sites, they become the web designer who will work with anyone, everyone, and at any price range. And that makes it really difficult for somebody who is looking for a specialist. Now, the best way I can explain this is with doctor's analogy. So forgive me, I love my analogies, and this is the best one that I've found so far for this. If you went to a doctor because you had say you needed an operation on your heart, you would go to a heart surgeon, right? If you turned up at that appointment and there was a fracture clinic specialist, or there was a orthodontist or an optometrist saying, hey, you know what, I specialize in eyes, but don't worry about it, I'll operate on your heart, no problem. You would not let that person open you up, right? I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be like, whoa, a quick back kick and I'd be out of that office as quickly as you could possibly imagine. But what people see when they go into the online world is that people are really, they want to share their message with everybody, and that's totally normal. But in doing so, you can actually really limit your client base, because if people see you one week talking about how you're going to help them with a marketing visibility plan, and the next week you're talking about how you're going to help them improve their mindset, it can be really difficult for them to understand which part you're actually the specialist in. So whilst I don't believe that you have to only have one audience who your message particularly appeals to, or who your service or product can be useful to, I do really believe that you should actually narrow it down and start talking to those people about what their real issues are. So for example, if you're a business coach, you're going to cover a whole breadth and depth of information. That doesn't actually mean that you can't niche down. It doesn't actually mean that you can't funnel down and talk to the people that identify with your story, that resonate with your teaching style. And so it might be that you are a business coach who actually specializes in working with people who have started their businesses, who are brand new to business. Or it might be that you're a business coach who specializes in working with small to medium-sized enterprises, with businesses or online businesses that are looking to help people hire or how to delegate. And that might be your focus. It doesn't mean that you can't teach them about marketing. It doesn't mean that you can't teach them about visibility or mindset or sales or email marketing or clarity or anything else that comes up. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that you have a clear focus. It means that when you are talking consistently online, you are talking about cohesive things that make sense. So when you start advertising things like your discovery calls and you say, hey, hop on the line with me, actually what that does is show people that you are the expert, you've given them all of the expertise, you've assisted them, you've given them value, you've talked authentically, you've built up that knowledge like trust, and now you're ready to share more information with them. Now they can jump on a call and they can get the opportunity to ask you questions about their business, about how it works in their life and how it could benefit them. Okay, does that make sense? The second thing I want to touch on with Confused Minds Don't Buy is that for everybody out there who is a multi-passionate entrepreneur, you're not. That's going to be unpopular. I'm really sorry. I truly believe that people can be passionate about a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. But let's take a look at some of the super successful people over the years. Yes, they may have, like Marie Forleo, for example, has a very big business now and covers a lot of business areas. When she started out, she was only focused on one thing. Same as most of the big business coaches. Let's look at somebody, for example, like Mel Farr. Mel Farr has had multiple business coaching areas where she has worked in sex coaching, in personal training and health and wellness, and then she focused on money and business building. All of them had specific areas. You know, let's look at some of the kind of bigger businesses out there. Let's look at Apple, for example. When Apple first started out, they only focused on producing something that could be a competitor to a PC that was going to be more stable, that was going to be more useful. You know, and so this is what I want you to think about, is that yes, you can be multi-passionate in terms of the things that you actually enjoy, the things that you embrace, the things that you want to show people that you can help them with. But actually, the quickest and easiest way to establish yourself as the expert is to be talking consistently about the number one problem that your ideal client has. So if you're in health coaching and you want to work with people who are looking at losing weight, it's probably not that useful to them if you start talking about, you know, wider lifestyle changes or allergies, or, you know, how to cope with moving different food groups out of your diet. What they want to know is, okay, what kind of exercise can I be doing that's going to make me lose weight quicker? What kind of, you know, foods can I be eating that are going to be better for my diet, that are going to help me on this weight loss journey? Does this all make sense? If it makes sense, say yes in the comments. If it doesn't, say no in the comments, and I can kind of give a bit of a better explanation. But the general gist of it is that you can be passionate about lots of different things. I firmly believe that you can teach people lots of different things if you are in a generalized coaching role. I know that there are plenty of amazing business and life coaches out there. But you need to be consistent in your message. Your message needs to say to people that you are the expert. And to establish yourself as the expert, you need to be talking consistently as the expert in those spaces, okay? So if you're finding that you're getting people onto discovery calls, or that you're not getting people onto discovery calls, and you're finding that people aren't buying, or that they aren't engaging with you, or that, you know, it's becoming more difficult to get people to purchase your products or services, just think, are you confusing them? Are you offering them too many options? Are you offering them too many options that don't match? Are you offering them things that aren't cohesive with what you're telling them on a daily basis on Facebook? Okay? Amazing. I'm so glad, Grim. I'm really glad that's useful. But like I say, if anybody has any questions, pop them in the comments. If you want to jump on Skype and get a 10-minute call with me and talk about how we can tailor this to your business and how you can actually start producing that cohesive strategy, let me know. Pop it in the comments, send me a message, and we'll arrange a 10-minute chat on Skype. I'm not going to pitch to you, but I want everybody to go forward in this group knowing exactly what you are marketing, the message that you're portraying, and how you are going to get people involved with that message and actually purchasing the things from you that they need. Awesome! Okie dokie, lovelies. Lorraine. Ooh. Morning, Lorraine. Actually, it's not even morning, is it? It's like afternoon now. That's really disappointing. So, I've just realised as well that when I read, because I don't have my glasses on, I like zoom in on the camera, which is a bit scary, a big view of my face. Okay, would you suggest a ratio of focused posts versus passionate posts? I talk mainly about healthy home cooking, but I'm passionate about the environment and other things that come up on my own journey. Hang on, I have to press the see more button. I can't see more. Oh, bollocks. Sorry, I did just say bollocks. Okay. Lorraine, I can't see the last bit of your comment. I've got to passionate about the environment and other things that come up on my own journey. So if you just want to copy and paste the last little bit, then I can kind of get to that. But in terms of ratio of focused posts versus passionate posts, there are ways that you can actually link them. So for example, if you're talking mainly about home cooking, we're talking obviously, oh, there's nothing after the ellipsis, that's fine now. It just kept saying see more, and I was like, I'm pressing see more and I can't see anything. So in terms of ratio of focused posts versus passionate posts, yeah, I believe that you can absolutely link them so that you can kind of cover all of it. I would say that for you, for example, you talk mainly about healthy home cooking, but other things come into that. So for example, healthy home cooking, if you're cooking everything from fresh ingredients, then you're going to be left with a fair amount of kind of like peel and stuff. You can tell that my cooking knowledge here is very limited, but you're going to be left with a bunch of peel and kind of leftover, I would call it offal, but it's not meat, but you know, just the kind of waste products from fresh foods. And so that you can talk about and link in and say, hey, you know what, if you've cooked this home cooked healthy meal and you don't want to get rid of all that waste product, you don't want to just chuck it in the bin, something that I'm really passionate about is the environment and is recycling, and part of that is composting. You know, part of that is using that to grow your own vegetables. You know, have you thought about getting a little planter or something and maybe growing your own tomatoes? Does that make sense? So you're not posting about it, but it's not your primary focus. Your primary focus always needs to be on your core message, which for you is helping people eat more plants and helping people eat better and get more fresh fruit and veg. And your kind of sub-messages, if you like, are your focus on the environment and your focus on the things that have come up for you, you know, with regards to things like money mindset and learning and development. And so those are things that you can weave in by telling people about your core focus. So for me, for example, my core focus is sales. Everything that I post pretty much is all about sales and some kind of aspect of learning to sell or improving your sales conversions or email marketing. Other things that I'm really keen on are stuff like visibility, because without a visibility strategy you can't sell stuff. But I always link it in. You will always see my posts being focused around the sales aspect, and I will talk about how you can build on that strategy throughout by saying, okay, so you know, you've got your sales funnel in place, that's awesome. What you need to do now is focus on your visibility and marketing strategy, and this is how you bring that in. You need a Skype. Awesome. Like, seriously, guys, if I know that there's quite a few of watching, if you want to jump on Skype with me for 10 minutes, seriously, just hit me up in the comments or send me a message and let me know, because I'm happy to do this. So the core message is every post and then weave the other stuff in. Perfect. Remembering core message every time is important. Yeah, your core message is what's important. At the end of the day, think about every time you've gone to make a big purchase, and by big purchase, I'm kind of defining that by $1,000 or £1,000 or more. If you haven't bought it, the reason that you haven't bought it is because there has been something that's been saying to you, oh, I'm not sure, and it's confusing you. Jane, could you suggest some things for me to post in regards to passion posts? Very difficult, because I don't know what you're passionate about. So in terms of your core message, definitely for you, we're talking mindset and we're talking empowerment through mindset. But what are you passionate about? You know, what are the other things that you enjoy talking about? You know, perhaps it's a holistic approach to wellness. You know, perhaps it's something to do with a hobby that you have. Do you enjoy painting? You know, that kind of stuff. Freeze frame. Woohoo! I hope my face looks good in the freeze frame. I hope it's not one where I'm like drinking or something. That'd be awkward. But yeah, so in terms of passion posts, they shouldn't be your main focus. So you don't need to be worrying about those anyway. You need to be focusing on the posts that focus on your core message. Those are the ones I want people to worry about. I don't care I do care about the passion posts because it's nice for people to get to know you through the other things that you enjoy. But actually, the post that you should be making should always be focused on your core message. And by that, I don't just mean kind of lovely inspirational quotes, because they are lovely, but ultimately they're not teaching people or educating people on how you can actually benefit them, how your process or how the things that you are showing or demonstrating to them or teaching them is going to benefit them. Okay, so just think about that when you're framing your core message post, your core message itself. It needs to be showcasing to people and educating them on how they can actually benefit from your trainings or products, services, free value, whatever. No worries, no worries. So are there any more questions? Does anybody else want to jump on Skype with me? I'm literally kind of booked for the rest of today, but Monday, Tuesday, I've got slots for time, 10 minutes. We'll hop on Skype. I'll answer your biggest question around your core message and we'll kind of get it done. You can move forward. If you do, pop it in the comments or send me a message on Facebook and I will make sure we set up a time, have a chat, and basically just kind of get you moving, because I see so many people posting lots of different things and then wondering why people don't buy from them. The simple fact is you're confusing them, you're not giving them enough expertise, and you're not giving them enough time to show them that you are genuinely that heart doctor in that situation. Okay, awesome sauce. In which case, I'm going to love you and leave you. You will... Oh, thanks, Lorraine. Go for it, Grim. Jessica can make everything seem so clear even in 10 minutes. I would love to jump on this on Monday. Yeah, like I say, I genuinely have time. I genuinely want to make sure everybody in the group is moving forward with this. So if you do, just throw me a message or I'll kind of respond to the comments on Facebook and we'll set a time up where we can actually have a chat, get things a little bit clearer and get you moving forward with that message specifically. I am now going to go and cook myself a healthy lunch. It's going to be from the wonderful Lorraine Panetter's ebook. So if you haven't bought that, do grab a copy, because even I, who live on biscuits and cream eggs and, lots of unhealthy things, have been cooking from it. It's flipping awesome. Ah, you can't give me any hearts or clap hands. Don't worry about it. I'm fine with that. Just, I get a big kick out of the fact that you all actually sit here and watch them. So thanks for that. I really like it. If you guys do like the videos, if they are useful, do let me know. Because one of the things that I will be doing is probably keeping them into this group. I don't, thanks for the promo. Yeah, you're welcome. I think it's really important that we make this group as valuable as possible. I think it's really important for me that we develop this community, that we really build it. So if you find the videos useful, if you find the information that I share with you useful, do me a favour and just invite more people in, because what I'm really looking to do this year is help 1,000 people change their businesses and change their lives. And so if I can get 1,000 people in this group and I can be giving you value every single day, then to be honest, that's kind of my goal met. So, do that. Get people involved, get people in the group, let's build this community. And if you haven't already, I did put out a post earlier talking about the fact that Facebook have been deleting groups just randomly recently. If you haven't already signed up to my list, please make sure you are. Not because I want to spam you with newsletters and emails about my dog, but because if the group did ever get deleted, I would want some ability to be able to kind of get in contact with you all and say, hey, I've moved the group to a membership site, or I've moved the group to this particular place on Facebook, so we can all keep in touch. Okay, amazeballs. If anybody wants anything, if you want extra help, if you do want to jump on Skype for 10 minutes on Monday, Tuesday, give me a shout, let me know. And I appreciate all the love from you guys. Share the group, tell everybody about it. Get some more people in so that we can have like regular Facebook dance-offs and sing-offs and, some sales chat. I like that. I'll speak to you guys really soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy Friday!